Hey y'all, welcome back to Homestead. I'm out here by one of my poor man's raised beds, and look how it's grown. Ooh, it's grown, baby, grown. My corn in the back jumped over 4 inches from Friday to yesterday when I side dressed it. However, we had a torrential flood for 30 minutes last night. Right now we've got black thunderheads popping up in the background, so you'll see me get shaded and sunny, and it was just a heavy downpour, and I think it took out some of the corn. It kind of flopped over. I'm hoping it'll stand back up. I tried to fix one this morning and I broke it, so best just leave it alone. But anyways, I think we're doing good. So look at the difference. We're going to do a garden tour this week. I just wanted to do a video today on something someone put on one of our videos, and this person's been with us a long time. They've always had, great stuff to say. And by the way, let me say this, on our last video, why you shouldn't garden, we had the most support, hundreds of comments everywhere from England to Australia, people complimenting us and being so nice. I'm sorry the air conditioner just cut on. I'm sorry, it's noise. I've tried to get this video out and I can't. So bear with me. If it's not that, it's the roosters. But anyways, people were just awesome, and the main thing was, like, quit being discouraged. That was the message I was getting out. Well, I noticed last night on one of my videos on chicken manure fertilizer, I said over and over that this has turned into good dirt, and this person who's always been great put up under there, no, that's not dirt, it's soil. So I'm going to stir up the great debate, and I want to hear what you guys think about dirt versus soil. This is common sense, okay? Dirt is dead, is what the person said, but soil is alive. Well, I went to my pasture garden. It's nothing but clay. The internet, the great internet, says that dirt is mainly clay and it's dead, and if it dries out, it'll blow away, kind of like the Dust Bowl. Okay, well, that's what we've got in our pasture, with a lot of shale rock. It's still on my hands, sparkling, if you can see it, okay? Shale. It looks like fool's gold, just breakable rock everywhere. It's terrible. I consider that dirt. I would think by the internet's classifications that would consider it dirt. It says it's dead, though. I got corn 6 inches tall all down there. But this is soil. I would call it dirt because how bad a shape it's in, but it's the same stuff. Like, this to me is great dirt. This is great soil. This is good stuff. That down there is bad stuff. What's the difference? The whole point I'm getting, whether you call it dirt, soil, or whatever, I'm in Alabama, we call it dirt. If I said that this is my soil, people would think that I'm talking about potting mix, okay? They don't understand. I didn't understand. I'm not bashing anybody. If I say soil over and over, that's the general consensus. People think you're talking about a bag of potting soil, okay? I'm calling it something you can plant in. And I guess technically this is not soil because it's not decomposed yet and not turned into compost. So what am I planting in? I don't know, guys. But the whole reason I'm doing this is I want to talk about the internet and what it's telling you. I want each and every one of you to Google what is dirt and what is soil. They will say the person was right. Dirt is dead and soil is alive. Now, I want you to turn around and Google and look up how many organisms are in a handful of dirt, and I want you to look up every response. They talk about millions of organisms alive in soil. They're using the term interchangeably. Is this not false information? Because I promise you, according to the qualifications that it first said about dirt being dead and clay and all, that's my pasture garden, but it's growing. It's alive. It grows grass over it. I've never seen dirt that didn't grow anything. I mean, around here, are we constantly, is everything soil? Maybe I don't know. Guys, when you look something up, and a lot of times I know it, but I just want to look up to see what the internet says, you're going to get so many different responses, and this is what's scariest. This is what's being taught. This is what's being told. This is what's being hammered into people about gardening. This is a small little bed. Like I said, I'm going to do a garden tour this week. Our gardens look great. But you do not have to have a fantastic garden to be out here gardening. You can have a few tomatoes and peppers. You could have a squash plant or two. And hey, guess what? It's getting windy. It may storm. You're gardening. You're doing it. You're doing it every day. Kudos to you. My gardens, to me, have never looked any prettier than they look this year. But guess what? There's weeds all in them. I hoe one row out and it'll turn back next week after this humidity and rain and sun, and there'll be weeds everywhere again. It is what it is. That's reality. I'm showing you real gardens. Even though I feel like mine looked really good this year, I'm showing you reality. These other channels I have looked at, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I'm thankful for every subscriber we've gotten, but I almost hope we stay small, because it's like something's happened to them. I don't know. They've got hundreds of thousands of people, and the first thing you see when you click on their video, the very first one that pops up, is a drone flying in over their farm and dump trucks backing up, dumping out mulch. The average person isn't worried about a drone flying in over their garden to get a Hollywood cine shot, okay, whatever, moving film shot. I can't even pronounce it. They're not having dump trucks full of mulch brought in. And this term, lazy gardening and all that, let me tell you something. I had a friend of mine yesterday tell me, he said, he's brand new to gardening, and he said, I told my neighbor I sure do hate cutting grass here, so I think I'm gonna put me in a garden. That way it'll be less work. And the old timer neighbor said, you don't even know what you're getting into, buddy, when you put in a garden. It's more work than you ever thought about being. When they give you this eye candy on YouTube, the internet, magazines, and everywhere else of how something is supposed to look, it's not true. It's not reality. You might find one on a blue moon, but if we could produce films out of Hollywood to show you Darth Vader coming in, don't you think, and make you think you're in a spaceship, don't you think somebody could edit a garden? I'm sure very easily. Just with my little $6 app, you'd be amazed at what I could do. I could make this place look like Green Acres and you wouldn't know the difference. This is not reality. And the people, if you see something immaculate, it's not reality, guys. So the whole point is, don't get discouraged. It does aggravate me, though, that people are putting this kind of propaganda out, because they're setting a mark that you can't make. And I promise you, if their number one thing is drones flying in and all these video shots, this person's trying to be a filmographer. They're not trying to be a gardener, okay? Because gardeners, like me and you, are out here with their hands in the dirt, soil, whatever it is, okay? I ain't seen nothing around here I can't throw triple 13 to and make it grow, okay? So something's alive in it. That's just my theory. That's my opinion. You can take it to the bank, okay? You throw some triple 13 to anything out here, that's my go-to, triple 13. It will grow. It will grow. So quit looking at all this stuff. Now, hey, sometimes I like looking at stuff like that. I mean, some channels were recommended to us and I looked them up, and I'd never even heard of them before. But it's nice to get inspiration or to see that kind of stuff. But what concerns me is the people I'm talking to on here that's watching me, learning how to garden. Do not be deceived by all these spectacular Wonderland magazine perfect gardens. There goes the rooster. You're gonna have a great year. You're gonna have years where you fail. Let me tell you something. In 2021, I had the best corn besides last year I've ever had. But my raised bed up here was horrible. I got blight over everything. It killed it before I could do anything with it, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I thought it was because I bought heirloom seeds. I'm not, I'm an intelligent person, but I really thought it was because it was heirloom. That's how tricked and deceived you can get into thinking stuff like this. Which I will say any day, a hybrid will do better than an heirloom. I don't care what it is. What it is. Time after time, you put some kind of hybrid in the ground beside an heirloom and it will do better. But I thought the plants had disease because they were heirloom. That wasn't the case. They caught it because of this Alabama humidity, and I didn't know what I was doing. So even though I've got pictures of my beautiful corn this year, that's all I can show you because it was just 10 times horrible up here behind the house. But you'd think that I just had the best garden ever that year. Again, a lot of this is editing. And now I only showed it to you because I had nothing else to show, okay? I had nothing else to show. We quit filming that spring. We got out of YouTube. That's one of the times we just kind of stopped. But I want to show people, like, yeah, you can garden in an old pine bed with no dirt or soil in it. What I'm gardening in is pretty much pine straw, okay, and leaves. And guess what? Seeds will still germinate. If you throw that black mulch on top, I guess that's soil. I don't know. It all breaks down into good stuff, whatever it is, dirt, soil, or Oogie booga. I don't know what it is, okay? But it's good stuff when it starts working. I call it active compost. But anyways, don't be deceived by what you're seeing online, and do not get so wrapped up in doing it the perfect way. There is no perfect way to garden. All the comments on our last video, why you shouldn't garden. People are saying, hey, don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about... I understand. I was trying to tell y'all that. So thank you for... I think we were all just agreeing. But I'm trying to tell y'all that. I'm trying to tell anybody that's trying, because you're going to feel like you're in way over your head when you first start. I've been there, done that, and got 3 t-shirts hanging up to prove it, okay? I got it. You're going to feel in over your head. You're not going to understand this stuff. And the first thing you see when somebody has a blog and says, hey, I did a hugelkultur method and it worked great for me, you're going to want to go out there and try it. And you think that's just the best way. You're going to have to, and then you're going to try it, and it may fail, it may work, and then you're either going to say it's terrible or it's the best thing ever. You're going to have so many options. You've got to find out what you like and on the scale that you like. Just because you've got one small raised bed or you're out here planting in a 5-gallon bucket, it does not mean that you're not a true gardener because you don't have acres of beautiful gardens. It don't mean you're not a gardener if you don't plant corn. It don't mean if you're not a gardener if you don't plant a tomato or a potato or whatever. And let me tell you something else. Back in the old days, everybody planted different things. The Amish still do this today. Jim Bob may be planting tomatoes, and Betsy Sue may be planting corn. And what they do is swap with each other. But you know what? They found what works in their soil. They found what they like to do, and everybody then turns around, sells their vegetables, and they swap with each other. They don't live off corn, and that's it. No, no. But everybody's not growing everything, not in mass quantities. Everybody finds their knack at what they're good at. Mine has been tomatoes and corn. That's my knack. Ask me about growing an eggplant. I grew one the size of a ping pong ball. You know, I mean, I grew them a little bit better than that, but that's not my thing. I'm not a guru about that. I've never planted a potato in my life, but I've got a homesteading channel on YouTube. My uncle grows them by the bucketfuls. I mean, canned over 100 quarts last year. So why would I waste my garden space and go out here, and I know he's going to send some more this year if his crop's good. Why would I go out here and plant potatoes unless I just wanted to? Why? If I know they're coming. That's kind of, like I'm saying, that's how the Amish do. So don't make that your mark. Don't make it your mark to have to do what everybody on the internet's telling you. Don't make it that way. Look, for my first year, I planted a flower garden. It's right behind that block wall. I noticed just a few things coming up, but not a lot. That don't mean I'm a bad gardener, because flowers have never been my thing. Ever. They may jump and be the prettiest flower garden ever, but it's rare to find somebody that's good at everything, okay? It's rare. If it wasn't rare, we'd all be superheroes, okay? We've all got our knacks and our niches and what we're good at, okay? Main thing is, if you're a small gardener, do not feel discouraged. I've warned you over and over and over and over. If you're planting basil in a bucket and that's it, hey, you did something good this year. You put food on the table. You're going to use that basil. I give you props for getting out here and trying. And guess what? You get a little bit braver, and you may want to expand, or you may not. You may just want to stay at what you got. I'm out here trying to grow my own food because I got so worried during 2019, 2020, when no food was on the shelves in rural Alabama, where we thought food would always be. And there were so many restrictions and this and everything else. There was so many things going on. I got scared, and that's why I flipped my life around. And I personally want to grow as much food as I can, and I just hate going to a grocery store. I told you I was a health nut. I loved buying all this healthy food. I was sick of paying high prices. I was sick of it being rotten by the time I got home, and I was sick of not knowing where it come from. It may have come from Timbuktu. It probably did. What was put on it? How was it grown? Why does it taste this way? Especially when you start growing your own food and you notice that it does not taste the same. Yeah, everything will taste a little bit worse after the quality's gone. If you let English peas you pick sit out on the counter for 2 days at room temp, yeah, they're not going to be as sweet. But they do not taste like what you'll go get in a grocery store at all. Why does the food taste different? That's a huge thing right there. But anyways, this is just another talk I wanted to give y'all. Look, whether you call it soil or dirt, I genuinely have that question. If dirt is dead, and dirt's like what I've showed you, my shell rock and my clay, why does the internet say when you pick up a handful of dirt, there's 1 billion organisms living in it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The only circumstance that I can find about dirt not being viable for any kind of life form would be like Mars. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Maybe out in the desert. They've even got palm and date trees. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you see cactuses. Something will grow. You see something everywhere on this great place that we live called the world. God gave us this space to go out here and have fun, and this was the intended original job of man, was to tend the garden. And when he gave me that assignment, I took it to the extreme. I love it, and there's nothing better that I love. Have fun. Have fun. Don't compare yourself to these other YouTubers, because I can promise you, as someone who does it full time and puts every inch of what she's got into her gardens, these gardens you see online, you got to have big money to have something like that. And you've got to have a whole lot of people helping you do it. They've got minions running around doing their job for them. The people that have this kind of stuff really ain't getting their hands into the dirt a lot. They just ain't. There's no way they could maintain it. It's all I can do to maintain what I've got. And I can't. Like, my pasture's full of weeds right now. Do I take care of this? Do I take care of that? Do I pull weeds here? It's a full-time job, especially the more and more you get. And I've got 6 small gardens. One's a dang 10-foot bed, 2x10 bed. And it's hard. There's grass all in it right now. What do I do today? This is a full-time escapade. So when you're seeing all this, it's not reality. Okay, guys? It's not reality. All right, let me know your thoughts below. Y'all be good in the comments. Thank you. I love seeing where you're from. That makes my day, because this old Alabama girl thought she would never even hear from somebody in England or Australia or any other U.S. state in her life, and I love it. We'll see you guys next time on Harmon Homestead.